Hello everyone, myself Ansh and I welcome to you all to my YouTube channel A New Sunrise. Hope you are well and fine. In this video, I am going to share information about cell structure and function. This is class 8th science chapter number 8. I am going to explain you the chapter and also going to give you the notes through all my slides. This is the part 2 of the chapter. One more part has already been uploaded to our channel. You can go to my channel and watch that video. The link of the video is also been given in the description box and also in the comment box. Now let's proceed to the chapter. First of all, before starting the chapter, let us see what are the topics that we are going to cover in this particular video. So the topics that we are going to cover in this video are parts of the cell, cell membrane, cell wall. Then after we will learn about differences between cell membrane and cell wall. Then we will learn about cytoplasm. Then after we will look towards nucleus and nuclear membrane. Then we will understand the topic of nucleolus and chromosomes. And then at last we are going to study the gene. These are the topics that we are going to cover in this part 2 video. Now let us proceed to the chapter. First, what we are going to study is parts of the cell. A cell have various parts. It is composed of various small units like cell membrane, cytoplasm and a nucleus, and also some organelles also. These are the basic components of a cell. That a cell is composed of cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. The cytoplasm and the nucleus is enclosed within the cell membrane, also called the plasma membrane. The cell membrane is, you can say, that the outer boundary of the cell which differentiate from other cell. This is the outer boundary of a cell. It gives shape to the cell and also protect it. The boundary of the cell in the plant is a cell membrane covered by another thick covering called the cell wall. But in plants there is one more outer boundary that is called as cell wall. In animal there is no cell wall. The central dense round body in the center of a cell is called the nucleus. A central dense round body which is in the cytoplasm, or you can say in the center of a cell, it is called as the nucleus. The jelly-like substance between the nucleus and the cell membrane is called cytoplasm. Now let us proceed to our next topic, that is, before proceeding to our next topic, first of all let us see some images. This is the image of two cells. One on the left is an animal cell and on the right is a plant cell. So first of all, let us look towards the parts of animal cell, which is given on the right side. Animal cell has a plasma membrane. This is the outer boundary called plasma membrane. It has cytoplasm inside it. It also has a nucleus, a central round dense structure, nuclear envelope, and nuclear envelope means nuclear membrane. And these are like Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, ribosomes, mitochondrion. These are the, you can say, organelles. We will study about each and everything in this video later after viewing the picture. Now let us go towards the plant cell. A plant cell has cytoplasm, Golgi apparatus, nucleus, nuclear membrane. It also has a cell wall. This is the difference between plant and animal cell, that a plant cell has a cell wall but an animal cell does not have. And it also have some organelles. Now we have viewed the two images We have viewed the images of plant and animal cell and their different parts. Now let us proceed to our next topics and let us learn about all of these parts, all of these components of a cell. Now let's go. Next is the cell membrane. What is the cell membrane? The cytoplasm and the nucleus are enclosed within the cell membrane. The cell membrane is also called the plasma membrane. The semi-permeable membrane that surrounds and encloses the contents of the cell is called cell membrane or plasma membrane. It is a thin, flexible, selectively permeable and made up of lipids and protein molecules. The membrane separates cell from one another and also the cell from the surrounding medium. In an animal cell, it is the outermost covering, but in plant cell, it is not the outermost covering. In plant cell, we have the outermost covering as a cell wall because plants need more protection. Plasma membrane allows the transportation of some substances in and out of the cell. So this is what we learnt about cell membrane. One thing you have to remember, that cell membrane is also known as plasma membrane. Now let us proceed to our next topic, that is the cell wall. Cell wall is only in plants and some bacteria as well as some fungi, but it is not in animals. In addition to the cell membrane, there is an outer thick layer in the cell of the plants called the cell wall. The outermost covering of a plant cell surrounding the cell membrane is called cell wall. It is thick, rigid, non-living, freely permeable and made up of cellulose. Remember that cell wall is thick, rigid, non-living, freely permeable and it is made up of cellulose. This additional layer surrounding the cell membrane is required by plants for protection. Plant cells need protection against variations and temperature, high wind speed, atmospheric moisture, etc. Cell wall is also present in bacteria and fungi. It provides mechanical strength and support to the cell. So guys, hereby we have learned about one more component of a cell, that is a cell wall. Cell wall is only available in plants. Remember some of the points related to cell wall, that cell wall is only available in plants, some bacteria, some fungi or some algae also. It is thick, rigid, non-living, freely permeable and is made up of cellulose. It is there in plants due to protection because plants cannot locomote, they cannot move. So as for the protection, there is an additional layer called cell wall. Now let us proceed to our next topic, which will tell you about one more component of a cell, that is a before proceeding to the next topic, let's see what is the difference between cell wall and cell membrane. A cell membrane is living, flexible membrane, whereas a cell wall is a non-living and it is a rigid membrane. Cell membrane, it is selectively permeable membrane, whereas a cell wall is a freely permeable membrane. A cell membrane is made up of protein and lipids, and a cell wall is made up of cellulose. A cell membrane is present in every living organism like plants and animals, but a cell wall is present only in plants, some bacteria and some fungi. So this is what the difference between cell wall and cell membrane. Hope you have understood it. Now let us go towards our next topic, that is the cytoplasm. It is the jelly-like substance present between the cell membrane and the nucleus. The jelly-like substance present between the cell membrane and the nucleus is called to be as cytoplasm. Various cell organelles such as mitochondria, Golgi bodies, ribosomes, etc. are present in cytoplasm. The nucleus along with cytoplasm is called protoplasm. Always remember this term, that the nucleus along with cytoplasm is called protoplasm. It includes the cytoplasm and the nucleus. Protoplasm is called the living substance of the cell. So this is what a protoplasm and a cytoplasm is. Now let's see the definition of organelle. An organelle, the membrane bound structures that float in the cytoplasm and perform a particular job in the cell are called organelles, or you can also say them as cell organelles. Now let us memorize the important points related to cytoplasm. The important points related to cytoplasm is that cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance between the cell membrane and the nucleus. Various cell organelles such as mitochondria, Golgi bodies, ribosomes, etc. are present in cytoplasm. The nucleus along with cytoplasm is called protoplasm. It includes the cytoplasm and the nucleus. Protoplasm is the living substance of the cell. Now, let us proceed to the next topic. We have learned about many topics right now, like cell wall, cell membrane, then difference between cell wall and cell membrane, cytoplasm. Now let us go towards some more components of a cell, that is nucleus and nuclear membrane. Nucleus is also called the brain of the cell. The spherical or oval-shaped body floating in the cytoplasm, generally present in the center of the cell, is called to be as nucleus. So what is nucleus? The spherical or oval-shaped body floating in the cytoplasm, generally present in the center of the cell, is called nucleus. It contains vital function of the cell. Hence, it is also called the brain of the cell. It is an important component of the living cell. It can be stained and seen with the help of a microscope. Nucleus is separated from the cytoplasm by a membrane called nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane is also known to be as nuclear envelope. Nuclear is separated from the cytoplasm by a membrane called the nuclear membrane. Remember this, that nuclear is separated from the cytoplasm by a membrane called nuclear membrane, and nuclear membrane is also known as nuclear envelope. The membrane which surrounds the nucleus is called nuclear membrane. It is present in plant and animal cells both. It is porous and allow certain materials to pass in and out of the nucleus. So hereby guys, we have completed this topic also. Now let us memorize some important points related to nucleus and nuclear membrane. See, nucleus, if we want to define nucleus, what is nucleus? The spherical or oval shaped body floating in the cytoplasm, generally present in the center of the cell, is called nucleus. Nucleus is also known as the brain of the cell because it contains vital functions of the cell. It is an important component of the living cell. Nucleus is separated from the cytoplasm by a membrane called nuclear membrane, and nuclear membrane is also known as nuclear envelope. It is present in plant and animal cells both. The nuclear membrane is present in plants and animal cells both, and it is porous and allows certain materials to pass in and out of the nucleus. So this is what was nucleus and the nuclear membrane. Now let us go towards our next topic, that is nucleolus and chromosomes. With the microscope of higher magnification, we can see a smaller spherical body in the nucleus. It is called nucleolus. There is one more smaller spherical body in the nucleus, and it is called to be as nucleolus, and it can be seen by only a high magnified microscope. So we can say that the small spherical body present inside the nucleus is called nucleolus. What is the definition of nucleolus? That a small spherical body present inside the nucleus is called nucleolus. It contains RNA and helps in the formation of ribosomes. In addition, nucleus contains chromosomes. the thread-like structures in the nucleus composed of DNA and bear the hereditary units, which are genes, are known as chromosomes. We will learn about these genes in my next topic. What are chromosomes? The thread-like structure in the nucleus composed of DNA are known as chromosomes, and they bear the hereditary units called genes. Chromosomes carry genes and help in inheritance, or we can say inheritance means the transfer of parental characters to their offsprings. The chromosomes can be seen only when the cell divides. Now let us go towards our next topic, that is the genes. Gene is a unit of inheritance in living organism. It controls the transfer of hereditary characteristics from parents to offsprings. This means that your parents pass some of their characteristics onto you. If your father has brown eyes, you may also have brown eyes. And if your mother has curly hair, you might also end up having curly hair. However, the different combination of genes from parents result in different characteristics. So what is the main point in nucleolus and chromosome? That nucleolus is a smaller spherical shaped body present in the nucleus. It contains RNA and helps in the formation of ribosomes. Nucleus also contains chromosomes. What are chromosomes? Chromosomes are the thread-like structure in the nucleus which are composed of DNA. Chromosomes bear the hereditary units which are called to be as genes. What are genes? Genes is a unit of inheritance in living organism. It controls the transfer of hereditary characteristics from parents to their offspring. So these were the topics that we covered in this video. Now what we are going to do is, whatever the topics we have learned or whatever the concepts we have understood, we will revise it all through some of the revision questions. So let us start the section of revision questions. First revision question is, define the following term. First term that we're going to define is the cell membrane. The semi-permeable membrane, or you can say that a selectively permeable membrane that surrounds and encloses the contents of the cell is called cell membrane. It is thin, flexible, living, and selectively permeable, and is made up of lipids and proteins. In animal cell, it is the outermost covering, but in plant cell, it is just under the cell wall. So this was the definition of cell membrane. Now let us go towards our next term that we have to define. The next term that we have to define is the cell wall. What is the cell wall? The outermost covering of a plant cell surrounding the cell membrane is called cell wall. It is thick, rigid, non-living, freely permeable in nature, and cell wall is made up of cellulose. Now let us go towards our next term that we're gonna define. That is the chromosome. What is the chromosome? Chromosomes are the thread-like structures in the nucleus composed of DNA, where the hereditary unit genes composed of DNA and bear the hereditary unit genes are known as chromosomes. What are chromosomes? Chromosomes are the thread-like structure present in the nucleus, and chromosomes is composed of DNA, and they bear the hereditary unit called genes. Now let us go towards our fourth term, that is cytoplasm. The jelly-like substance present between plasma membrane and nuclear membrane is called the cytoplasm. Various cell organelles such as mitochondrion, Golgi bodies, ribosomes, etc. are present in the cytoplasm. So this was the definition of cytoplasm. Now let us go towards our next term that we have to define that is the gene. What is the gene? A small segment of chromosome that carries one character from parents to their offspring is called a gene. So this is what a gene. Gene is a unit of inheritance in the living organism. It carries parental characteristics to their offsprings. Now let us go towards the next term that we have to define. The next term that we have to define is the nuclear membrane. The membrane which surrounds the nucleus is called the nuclear membrane. It is present in plants and animal cells, both. It is porous and allows certain materials to pass in and out of the nucleus. Nuclear membrane is also known as nuclear envelope. Next term that we have to define is the nucleolus. What is the nucleolus? The small spherical body present inside the nucleus is called the nucleolus. It contains RNA and helps in the formation of ribosomes. What is nucleolus? The small spherical body present inside the nucleus is called the nucleolus, and it contains RNA and helps in the formation of ribosomes. Now let us go towards the eighth term that we have to define, and that is the nucleus. What is the nucleus? The spherical or the oval shaped body floating in the cytoplasm which is generally present in the center of the cell is called to be as nucleus. It contains vital function of the cell. Hence, the nucleus is also called the brain of the cell. Next, the ninth topic that we're going to cover is the organelles. What is the organelles? The membrane-bound structures that float in the cytoplasm and perform a particular job in the cell are called the organelles or the cell organelles. So this was the definition of organelles. Now let us go towards our 10th and the last term that we have to define, and that is the plasma membrane. The thin, delicate, selectively permeable, the thin, living, delicate, selectively permeable membrane that surround a cell is called cell membrane or plasma membrane. So this is the definition of plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is also known as cell membrane. Now let us go towards some more revision question. Answer the following questions. Question number 1 is, write a short note on the following. We have to write a short note on the two. First is the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a jelly-like fluid that fills the cell and is present between the plasma membrane and the nucleus. It contains various organelles such as mitochondria, ribosomes, Golgi bodies, etc. suspended in it. The cytoplasm helps in the exchange of materials between cell organelles. All the cell organelles in the cytoplasm play an active role in the functioning of the cell. So this was a short note on the cytoplasm. Now let's give a short note on the nucleus also. The nucleus of the cell is generally spherical or oval. The nucleus is usually located in the center of the cell. It is enveloped by a membrane called nuclear membrane, and the nuclear membrane is also known as a nuclear envelope. This membrane, the nuclear membrane, is porous and allows the movement of material between the cytoplasm and inside of the nucleus. There is smaller spherical body in the nucleus called nucleolus. Nucleus contains thread-like structure called chromosomes that carry genes and help in the transfer of hereditary characters from parents to their offspring. It acts as the control center of the activities of a living cell. It means the nucleus. Nucleus acts as the control center of the activities of a living cell. Hence, the nucleus is also called the brain of the cell. So this were the notes that we have to give on the two terms. First was the cytoplasm and second was the nucleus. And we have given it up. Now let us go towards our next and the last question, that is, where are chromosomes found in a cell? State the function of these chromosomes. Answer. Chromosomes are found in the nucleus of the cell. Its function are, what are its function? Chromosomes bear genes and help in inheritance. Chromosome bear genes and it help in the transfer of parental hereditary characters to their offsprings. They means the chromosomes facilitate proper cell division. Chromosomes have very important role in the development of an individual. So these were the function that a chromosome does. So hereby guys, we completed the part 2 of the chapter. One more part have been left, that is the part 3. We have covered almost all the topics of the chapter. Some more topics are there and I would be covering all the topics, all other left topics in my next part, the part 3 of cell structure and function. Hope you liked our video. If yes, thanks for watching guys. Please do like and share my video. Also subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon to never miss any latest updates from my channel. Comment if you have any feedback. Also, if you have any confusion or doubt related to the chapter. Here is Ansh signing up for the day. Bye bye.